They might cry, tickle their feet, get the dad involved. They both had 12 teeth by 1 year old. Honestly, the biggest thing is that you don't want to feel like you're not confident in it. You know what's right for your baby. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Hi guys, I am coming to you from my living room floor. Today is gonna be a super chill video. I've got my comfy sweatshirt on, got my can of water and my phone with my notes written down. You can probably hear Lincoln in the background. I've already tried to film this like a billion different times and Lincoln was whistling at first. Adam is outside making a bunch of noise because he is fertilizing the lawn and the hose keeps making noise. And you know what? We're just gonna go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens, and we're gonna go with it. So here we go. We're just making this work. We are talking about breastfeeding today. I'm excited to chat with you guys about breastfeeding. I nursed both of my kids until they were about a year old, and I absolutely love my breastfeeding journey with them. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about, honestly, because I just have a passion for it, I guess. I am not trying to force anybody to do anything. Actually, I'm trying to do the opposite. Like, whatever works for your family works for your family, and that's what you should do. You shouldn't listen to what other moms are telling you to do, and you shouldn't look at what other moms are doing and try to do that. You should just do what you want to do. And so I'm not trying to tell you to breastfeed. I'm just trying to help moms who want to breastfeed but don't know what they're doing. So that's basically what I'm giving you. 9 tips for moms who have no clue what they're doing, new to breastfeeding, just started breastfeeding and need some help. So basically that's what this video is, and I'm really excited to get started. I have some notes written down, kind of things that I don't know, I just kind of thought about things that helped me along the way. Okay, so my first tip for you is that before you actually start breastfeeding, like before when you're still pregnant, is to learn as much as possible. So you are doing the right thing, you're off to the right start by watching this video. Even if you're already started breastfeeding and you're just now looking into it and stuff like that, that's okay. I do think that it helped me a lot to take a class. That's what Adam and I did. We took a class at our hospital. I think that that helped so much, and it wasn't like a multiple course. It wasn't like you go multiple times. It was just like a one-time thing, and I still think that that helped immensely just because I knew absolutely nothing about breastfeeding. They told us different positions to do. They kind of just taught us all about what it's about, you know? So I knew more. I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, about like the pain that I might feel and things like that. I wasn't totally blindsided by that, and that definitely helps. So I would just say try to learn as much as you can before you get yourself into it. Now don't get overwhelmed though. That is the one other thing that I would say is like, it's okay, you don't have to know everything. You will figure it out with your baby once you have your baby. I'm not trying to say like you have to know everything, you have to be an expert before. That's not what I'm getting at, but I do think it's nice to just know a little bit before you get into it. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I'm gonna move on. Number 2 is do not wait to get help. So when you are in the hospital, if you're doing a hospital birth, then you should have a lactation consultant coming to help your baby get latched on, to help if there's any issues that you're having with feeding or anything like that. And that helped us immensely, just having that lactation consultant being there. And then nurses should be checking in with you too. If you're having a birthing center birth, if you're having a home birth, then your midwife should be helping you with feeding as well. So I would say if you're having any issues, if you don't think that they're getting enough, if you don't think that they're latched on correctly, ask for help like as soon as you can, because you just don't want them to be latching incorrectly, because that will be painful in the long run. Like, it's gonna hurt. You don't want them to not be getting enough. Honestly, the biggest thing is that you don't want to feel like you're not confident in it. You just want to feel like you know what you're doing, and so it's good to just get help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Okay, this is my favorite one. This is my absolute favorite. So number 3 is to get the dad involved. So when the lactation consultant came in, Adam was there the whole time. He was paying complete attention. I don't remember if she specifically was like, Dad, you need to get over here and listen, or if he was just like already paying attention. but he was listening to everything. So whenever she would teach me things like, hey, like this is a good position for this, and like, hey, whenever the baby falls asleep while eating, tickle their feet and stuff like that, like all the little tips that they give you, or you know, when they come unlatched, like this is what you need to do, or if they're not latched on correctly, this is how you unlatch them, just all those things. He was completely listening, and I was so tired because my labor was almost 24 hours and we were up another 24 hours after that. Like, so we were up for like 48 hours straight at least. I was exhausted. Like Adam, I think, got some sleep, but I didn't get any sleep. And so I was so tired. And obviously I'm the one that pushed the baby out, like, hello. So I was like sort of listening and like trying to listen, but he really took everything in. And so whenever I went to do it without the lactation consultant when they were gone, I was getting frustrated trying to get the baby on and he couldn't get on, right? This is like Lincoln, obviously. This is like the first time I'm ever breastfeeding. And Adam's like, oh, remember how they said this? Here you go, like, let me help you. And like, he would remember everything and he would help me so well. It was just amazing. So like, definitely get the dad involved. And that's not the only part. Like when we got home, he would like bring me the baby. Like I would get set up with the pillow on the couch and like get in the right position, and he would bring me the baby, like not only at the hospital, not only like with the lactation consultant, but like also have the dad help you at home. Like at night, when Lincoln would wake up in the middle of the night, Adam would get up and get the baby for me every single night. He would get Lincoln for me every single night. Well, maybe it wasn't every single night, but it was most nights. My next tip is to use the Haka. So if you don't know what a Haka is, it is a silicone breast pump that catches your letdown. So say you're nursing on the left side, you have the Haka attached to your right side and it catches the milk. So it's like you basically don't have to pump because it just catches it for you. And then well, it depends on if you're working or not. Like I would say if you're going back to work and you need like a lot of milk, then you're probably gonna have to pump anyways. But I was staying home. I really only needed milk if somebody was coming over to watch watch the baby while I was going out to do something, or if I was drinking or something like that. So I didn't need that much milk, but I saved up a lot really fast. The Haka is amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. Next tip is to try out different positions. So I love doing just like the normal position where, you know, they're just like right here and you're just kind of like the cradle. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called like the cradle, but you just like hold them like normal. It's just like the most traditional position. I'm really comfortable with that position now, but I think at the beginning, everyone says like that's like hard. So I would put like a pillow under their head at first when I was first trying that one out. But there's also like the football position where they're like kind of like under your arm right here. Also like laying down is super easy. Just like laying down on the bed like kind of sideways is super easy, and it's really comfortable. And I used to do that in the middle of the night all the time and I would just fall asleep. And I know that sounds kind of dangerous, but it worked for us and we were always fine. Just do whatever is comfortable for you and use pillows. I had a Bobby with Lincoln and I hated it and I ended up selling it. It just didn't work for us, but a Bobby might work for you. And I just honestly used regular pillows. I thought that was way more comfortable and honestly cheaper. Whatever works for you though, like any position that you find comfortable and you like and your baby likes, do that, but try a bunch of different ones and figure out what is best. So this next one is kind of my opinion, and you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, but I guess they're all my opinion. But I say for the next tip, skip the nursing bras. I am honestly just trying to save you money, but I never really liked nursing bras. I used them for a while and then I realized how pointless they were because I found, right now, I found, this one's tan, so I don't know how well you can see it, but True & Co bras. This isn't like sponsored or anything. I literally just love them. They did like a collaboration post with me on Instagram one time and I fell in love with them. And now I just buy them all the time. Like I buy them at Target now. But anyways, I absolutely love them, and you can just pull them down to nurse, and they're my favorite bras ever. You don't have to buy True & Co. I'm not like saying you have to buy True & Co. I'm just saying like stretchy bras or anything like that, like even just like sports bras, I'm sure would be fine to just like pull up or pull down to nurse. You don't have to spend the extra money to get a nursing bra. What I found with nursing bras, especially like the underwire ones, is like whenever you pull them down and then you kind of have to like pull your boob out, right? I mean, I have big boobs, so maybe it's just because my boobs are too heavy or something. The part that you're pulling down, it gets like so stretched out from like your boob sitting on top of it while you're nursing. So then it only lasts a few weeks because you're stretching it out so bad. So then you end up throwing it out and you spent all that money on it, and then it's just such a waste. So anyways, that's my opinion on nursing bras. I don't think they're worth it at all. Again though, to each their own. I am making this video for people that are completely new to breastfeeding, and I'm just trying to save you from the mistake that I made of spending all this money on nursing bras when I didn't even need them. My next tip is do not be afraid to relatch them. So if they are not latched on correctly, and especially like if it's painful for you, if you just know that they're not latched on right, like you should relatch them. Don't be afraid to do that. So you just take your finger and kind of put it between your boob and their mouth and just unlatch them and relatch them. So you want to wait till their mouth is completely open and then latch them on. Like wait till they like open their mouth really wide. And I know it's hard if they've like fallen asleep or something. You need to do it before they fall asleep. I get it's hard, and I used to be the same way where I was like, oh no, like they're on, so I don't want to change them. But trust me, you will understand once your boob starts hurting, because if they are latched on incorrectly, it's gonna hurt. So my next tip is about biting. And you might not need this tip yet if you're just completely new to breastfeeding. Your baby probably doesn't have teeth yet. My kids got teeth at 3 months old and it was insane, but they didn't quite start biting me yet. When they were a little bit older, they really started biting down, and let me tell you, you need to be prepared. So when they bite you, you can do a few different things. You can either just say no, no, and you can kind of like tap them on their face, or you can like completely pull them off and you can tell them no. And it all depends on like what you want to do. If you're not comfortable like tapping them or whatever, then you don't have to do that. But they might cry. Like you're gonna pull them off, they're gonna cry because they want to keep eating. But if you don't want them to keep biting you, you're gonna have to like do something. So I would always just like pull them off, like sternly say no, or like no biting or whatever. And I'm not guaranteeing that they're gonna like stop biting you because they're teething and their gums hurt, but it at least helps when you do that. Like they're not gonna bite you again right away. So good luck. I know it's horrible and it sucks, but you can get through it and they will stop eventually. And I got through it. I mean, I nursed Lincoln for almost 13 months. Waylon was about 11 months, and they both had 12 teeth by 1 year, and I was fine. And I never bled. And so that's my encouragement to you. 12 teeth by a year old, and I survived, so you will too. My final tip is to just do what feels best for you and your family. Maybe you want to breastfeed for just a week. Maybe you want to breastfeed for a few months before you go back to work. Maybe you're like me and you want to breastfeed for a year. Maybe you want to breastfeed for 2.5 years. I have no idea what your goals are, but if you're watching this video, I know that you want to be successful in breastfeeding for at least a short amount of time, and you can totally do it. I know that you can. My biggest advice, honestly, what I want you to take away from this video is just do what is right for you and what feels right for you. And it's not failure if you quit. Like, I'm not saying be successful at breastfeeding as in you have to make it a certain amount of time. That's not what you need to do. If that's not right for you, then switch to formula. There is nothing wrong with switching to formula. I just want you to take that away from this video, and I want you to not take any advice from people who are telling you negative things. I definitely got some crazy negative advice from people when I was first starting out, and I just had to ignore it and keep doing my thing. And the biggest thing I can tell you is to listen to your instincts as a mom, because they're real. Like, even when you are 3 days into being a mom, like you just became a mom, you know what's right for your baby, and you got this and you can do it. So I hope that this video is encouraging to you, and I hope that you have an amazing breastfeeding journey with your babies. babies. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave me a comment below if you found this helpful, and let me know what tips you guys have. I want to hear any breastfeeding tips from moms that maybe are watching this that aren't brand new to breastfeeding, or let me know if you have any questions. If you are new to breastfeeding, I would just love to hear from you guys. So please leave me a comment down below, and I hope that you guys have a really, really great day, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.